welcome back to this episode of Bedroom Corner with your five hosts, Howl's Heart from Howl's Moving Castle, Calico, Eevee, Gengar, and Pikachu, and me. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 3.5. It will be episode 3, but I didn't record last week, mostly because I didn't have much to say. It felt like I was forcing myself to say something that I didn't like. The retrograde had me really messed up. Not messed up in a depressed way, but it had me messed up in the fact that it was kind of like the intro of this podcast, just static noise in my brain. And I was forcing myself to really even say anything. Today's chapstick of the day is Topicals Acai. It's on my lips right now. A lot of the people that put this on, it's tinted on their lips. It's not really that tinted for me, but love it. And I probably won't have to reapply this whole entire episode. But let's get into it. I tried to record this a minute ago and I recorded an hour and then the file didn't work. So I'm recording it again. That's the dedication I have to the podcast. A lot of people don't have that kind of dedication, but I do. So, also I got two new tattoos. I'll put them in the corner. I was supposed to get 2 tattoos last Monday. Two new tattoos on top of these 2 new tattoos, not on 2 new tattoos in addition to these 2 new tattoos that I have right now. That are now 2 weeks old. But I was supposed to get some the following Monday, but something happened. And if something happens this Monday and I come back next week and I don't have two new tattoos, something happened again. So we'll see. Moving on. The first item on the docket is they killed Jesus. Is what I've been saying to everybody who tries to criticize anything that I believe in at this present moment. Because they killed Jesus. The people killed Jesus and he was a cool ass nigga. For real. Jesus was really cool. He did a lot. He was for the girls. He was for the whores. He was for the hoes. He was for everybody. And they still killed Jesus. So think about that when you are listening to this podcast today, and if you disagree with anything, realize that they killed Jesus and they disagreed with him too, and he was always right. Am I comparing myself to Jesus? Did he make me in his likeness? Did God make me in his likeness? Is Jesus a part of God? Is Jesus a part of the Holy Trinity? They killed Osama bin Laden too, and that was a bad bitch. They killed Jesus and he was a bad bitch. I'm not saying there's too much link between the two of them, but both of them were bad bitches. Wouldn't crack Jesus. We'll crack Osama bin Laden, throwing it back to episode 1. Next thing on the docket. My favorite insult right now is describing the actual thing someone is doing out loud so they can hear how stupid they are. I tweeted the other day, one of my mutuals, I'm going to go get the tweet. One of my mutuals was coming to Philadelphia and they said that they missed their train. And then somebody was like, that was probably a blessing in disguise. And I don't know if they were trying to shit on Philadelphia. I don't know if they were trying to shit on Philly. And I just don't play that. I'm not from Philadelphia. I probably would claim 3 other cities before I even claimed Philadelphia. But I'm just not going to let anybody do that. Honestly. So I tweeted in response to that, you're using a filter to give you blue eyes as your pinned media, because that's exactly what they were doing. And I think being the reflection of somebody else's projection is insult enough for them. You're speaking loudly in public and looking like a baboon, showing your red baboonish ass. Adding a little flair in there is always necessary as well, especially for outlandish behavior like that. But during this retrograde, it's so important for you to conserve energy. So just simply saying back to somebody exactly what they're doing out loud so that they have a chance to reflect before we move forward with this conversation, I think is really imperative for a lot of people. Because if you have not noticed, there are a lot of people in this world who do not self-reflect. Shocker, shocked. Everyone's shocked and appalled. But there are people who do not self-reflect. So giving them that opportunity right before you really dig in that ass I think, is being a sister, is being a part of a community, is being a villager in the community, being a villager in the village. Asking your fellow human, do you really want to do this? And do you understand what you're doing and how I'm perceiving it and what fire-breathing wrath I'm about to give to you? So it's kind of like a warning. Almost like recanting back to them, hey, do you know what you look like right now? And are you prepared to go into this battle looking the way that you do? All right, then let it commence. And I think that's really important. Falling out with me is the worst thing you could do for yourself because one, I'm a good friend. Two, everything I've said negatively about you, I've said to your face. And three, I'm so funny and you're just a fake ass weirdo bitch. One, I think that everybody has had a friendship breakup. I've had multiple friendship breakups and there's no beef. I've cut a lot of people off. A lot of people have. I don't think people have outgrown me actually. I don't. And if you did, then feel free to speak now or forever hold your silence. But I feel like I've outgrown a lot of people. I'm very malleable to the friends I have. I'm willing to grow with them, understand different perspectives. But I've had a lot of friendship breakups. Right, and the reason that I thought about this is because last week when I was trying to record this, I had on here that niceness is is something that a lot of people can only offer because they don't have a personality, and that's what made me think of this because a lot of the people that I was thinking about in college only like they thrived off this pseudo fabricated niceness and being nice to everybody. Like I was just taught always to be nice to people, and then I found out that they voted for Trump during the 2016 election, like right after the election happened, because I was sitting in this person's dorm, and I just thought the world was over once Trump like was elected, and I looked at all three of the friends I made freshman year and was like, you guys, the world is over. Like everyone's going to die. This is it. This is Armageddon. Like send the flood. Like all the revelations, the plagues from the Bible are about to begin, you guys. Like this is over. This is it. We are done. And they're looking at me like it's not going to be that bad. Do you really think it's going to be that bad? I don't think so. I think Trump won. I think he won. I think this is good. And I'm looking at them like, you guys voted for Trump? And they're like, silence befell that room like nothing else. And I did call them stupid bitches, going back to point two, everything negatively that I've said about you, I've said to your face. So you cannot say it, and none of you can speak on that because you know that I called you all stupid and you know you all voted for Trump. So if you do say something, be prepared to expose your voting record as well. And it's like all of those people functioned off the niceness card, but you also voted for Trump, who's like the antichrist and like the antithesis of being a nice person. Like he's just like a bitch. He's like a actual vile human being who's like separating families and all that type of shit. More so perpetuating a like he's just a terrible person. He's going to hell, and you're probably going to hell because you voted for him. And your family's voted for him. Mind you, mind you, mind you, mind you, mind you, mind you, before I even move on to the next friendship breakouts, because the friendship breakups, because I just want to do a little bit of recounting and go up to my most recent friendship breakup. These people, two of them are people of color, Asian, and one of them is an immigrant from China. And all three of them are very good friends with a girl who has parents who are Mexican immigrants. So that's what I mean, like this pseudo fake niceness, because they are devoid of actual like substance and like personality. Because if you had a personality, if you had substance, you would understand like extending your arm to your fellow human being and not voting for somebody who's actually the antithesis of actually giving a fuck about a human being to be our president of the United States of America. Right. Moving on. Next person I want to talk about is the cousin of the friend that all those friends have. I confessed to my freshman year friends that I'm feeling, no, not freshman year, this was after, because I left those bitches in the past. Like, also, mind you, I'll say that at the end. Don't even worry about it. We will touch back on that point. I confessed to these group of friends, my roommate at the time, not John Voles. John Voles was my first roommate for freshman and sophomore year. Love him down. The reason I have this Instagram page is because of John Voles. Respect, love, always will respect that man. Second, junior year roommate or senior year roommate. I confess to that group of friends that I'm feeling suicidal. And they are like expressed like, oh, we're going to be there for you. This friend is like checking on me at the time. And he then goes to that friend group that I'm confessing this to and says, if I committed suicide, I would not care if he did. If he committed suicide, talking about me, if I committed suicide, he would not care. This is my best friend at the time. I don't know that. When I do figure that out, call him a big blockhead bitch. So, like, he knows that, and Honestly, your head has only gotten more blocky. Then something's going on with my family, telling my roommate that he goes and tells other people. My roommate, my best friend at the time now, at that time. It's too much for him. It's causing him too much stress and strife, and it's overwhelming him that I'm venting to him about my family life. So he starts telling his friends. It gets back to me. Punched him in the face. So he knows that. And then moving up to the recent friendship I've had, but not even recent, the bitch that I friendship broke up with, or just really just stopped talking to after they said we need a friendship break. There are no friendship breaks. We're not fucking. We don't need a friendship break because you're vapid and insecure and read at a 6th grade level. We don't need a friendship break. Also said all those things to her so she knows that. And if you do want to say that, you remember the time when we were on vacation and I said you had the brain the size of a shoelace. You remember that, and we all remember it. We were at an Italian restaurant in Seattle. You know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. So it's like, there's just like all the friendship breakups that I've had, or even friendship breakups, or just people just being bad people. I'm saying all this to say, people don't respect community. They don't respect community. They don't have any sense of respect for their fellow human being, but also all of you look chopped as fuck too. Recently, an astrologer, when Ice Spice and Cleopatra fell out, Cleopatra is a Taurus, so she's Venus adored, meaning that she has a strong Venus placement in her chart because she's a Taurus sun. And I have a Taurus Venus. And I think about all the time that an astrologer was like, when you fall out with someone who's Venus adored, having a strong Venus placement in their chart, you lose your public perception of beauty, or like the public stops viewing you in the light of beauty. And I think about that all the time because all of you look chopped. The most recent one, gaunt, looks like Corpse Bride without the cunt. Roommate, ugly as fuck. Social girlfriend, blockhead bitch, blockier. All 3 of these hoes, chopped, boots house down. Just like, and there's a lot of you could say the same thing about me. Anybody watching this could say the same thing about me because, as I've said before, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You could say, I'm chopped right now. You will be wrong. You would be wrong. And they killed Jesus. Overall, overarching point of that is, in a time where there is no community and we are being divided amongst people, take care of your friends, care about your friends, go to therapy and seek out and heal the deepest part of yourselves that is so insecure that you feel like you would have to be entitled to your friends' time, talents, love, not even love, that you would feel entitled to parts of your friends and possessing people instead of actually caring and loving about them. Go heal those parts of yourselves and then get in relationships, beautiful relationships, and foster beautiful friendships and foster just beautiful community, because a lot of you are so deeply insecure and not secure in yourselves that you create imaginary battles with other people inside of your head that you lose, and then you miss out on great friends like me and great friends like you watching this, because nobody in my community, online or not, would be that fucking stupid. I'm talking about the bitches who move weird and peculiar. I've cut off a lot of people as of recently because we just outgrown each other. We're moving in different paths, and there's no bad blood. But the bitches I have bad blood with, I just talked about you, and there's no need to, like, I'm really recounting information and like the facts and like having, I mean, except for you guys being chopped. But if you look in that mirror and like really like think about it, are you not chopped? Like, if you really sit down and like you think about it, are you not chopped? Like, if you really, 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 really like look in that mirror and you like you look and look and look and look and look and look and like look like, I don't mean just look, but like look. You're not chopped? Okay. Whatever. Moving on. The next topic I wanted to talk about is Pluto. It's this movie. No, it's not this movie. It's a TV show series. And the preface of this show is really cyborgs are just integrated into society, and there was a war that went on and cyborgs fought in it, and how robots now have laws in society, and how there's just like 7 powerful robots and they're all linked to like the 7 deadly sins loosely. and there's someone going around after the robot rights laws, like human rights laws, are written in, and they're going around, they're killing robots, that the seven most powerful robots, they're going around killing them, and it's to make a statement on why robots shouldn't be involved in humanity, and just like, it's really really interesting, and like the robots are being discriminated against basically. And there are all these analogies of multi hyphenate, like there, it makes me think about this one part in the show where it's like this old woman speaking to one of the most advanced robots with the most intelligent AI that makes him even able to feel love and hate, and says to him, "That's so interesting, even a robot like you can see that flowers are beautiful." Like that's so, it's like a microaggression, like it's like, you speak so well, like, oh my goodness, I'm so surprised you speak so well as a black little monkey, as a black little monkey nigger. Like, oh, bitch. Like, and then there's people doing like so many think pieces on it, on the show, and I think people should do think pieces on beautiful works of art. But it's like this multi hyphenated, intersectional discrimination. It's just, it's so thought provoking and da 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 da. And it's maybe because I'm a black person, but when I was watching these video essays and these TikTok deep dives and all these YouTube theories and stuff like that, besides like the philosophical ones, like from specific philosophers that maybe I wasn't that familiar with, but being a black person really jump starts you on a lot of the philosophical and sociological and etymologists and anthropologic ideas. A lot of it, just being black will teach you that. Just being black will teach you that. And I was watching Z-Way and Jinx Monsoon talk about it, and she was like, Jinx Monsoon specifically, she was like, at 13, I kind of realized when I don't know if she said that she was trans at that point or that she came out as gay first or something like that. And she realized that once she was different, she started unlearning a lot of the behaviors of like racism and like white people having to unlearn stuff. And I'm like, wow, how, what a privilege to go through life all the way up to 13 and not be burdened with the idea of race. Could never have been me. I was black with African features in a predominantly white school in the early 2010s. We were on Instagram having light skin versus dark skin wars, and even then, light skins could really get by. My black ass, never. So it's just so interesting to me. The show is beautiful and everybody should watch it. I got so much from it, and it honestly made me cry so many different times. But I just thought it was interesting that people can really go that far in life without really understanding discrimination and not really understanding it even to its bottomlessness of it all, like the multi layers of it all, and not even experiencing it. Because to really understand something, I feel like you have to truly experience it. Like, you can be as empathetic as you want, but if you don't know discrimination, if you don't know these things, then if you never experienced them, it's really hard to, like, you can read all the books you want, but like, you really won't even understand it. And it's like the analogies of war, the analogies of all these different things, like that's why it takes me back to like the niceness of it all. Like, you can be as nice as you want, you can be all these other things, and it's always the people who are posting like the Instagram infographics and all these other things, and it's like, you understand that we all understand, or should understand, or maybe we all don't understand, because genocides and slavery and all these occupying of countries in Ethiopia and in Haiti and in Sudan and Palestine are still happening. So maybe everyone doesn't understand, or everyone definitely doesn't understand. But it's like, you understand that that's bad, but at the community level, you don't understand that not being a good friend to your friend is bad. There are small increments of understanding that fostering community, understanding community, protecting humans, and being just an overall good person inside the circles in which you inhabit is bad. And I'm not saying those lead to genocide in a country, but in some small cases, there are isolating moments where you could just choose to be the betterment of humanity and add to the collective consciousness of just being a good person. Especially right now, when everybody and their mother is like, it's Trump everything in the sheriff lives next door, like, genuinely. And another part of it that I really wanted to touch on is in the anime, there is a doctor who created the Duro antagonist of the show named Adam, who's modeled after Astro Boy. He is the most intelligent of the robots. I don't think he's the most powerful, but he's the most intelligent. Has the most the strongest AI. Also, I want to touch on AI before I even get into the second part of it. The fact that AI is becoming so integrated in society, and it's like, it really tripped me up in the show where humans created the AIs and created the cyborgs and like involved them in war, and a lot of them didn't. A lot of the most powerful robots, there's this one who didn't even fight in the war because he just chose to be a pacifist. And there, the detective in the show is the protagonist of the show, and he even develops so far in his AI that he's able to experience hate and love, and like all the seven robots are technically able to experience love, hate, and all these other things, and like it blurs the lines of what's human and what's not, and, but they're still human creations. So it's like, it makes me think, because I also saw a TikTok today of one of my favorite influencers being like, she doesn't want to do influencing for as a full time because she's understanding that brands are going to start moving into AI branding, which I think is true, and they're going to stop paying their influencers to do certain things because they know they can use AI and it's going to be cheaper. But also at the same time, there's just like, I have such faith in humanity that like, why would you buy a skincare product from someone from an AI marketing? They can't use the fucking product. It's AI. But also, you guys are so fucking stupid. Not you guys specifically, but people are so fucking stupid that you're using AI still, even though you know that it's poisoning communities in like Georgia and like the South, to make your ugly boyfriend into a fucking AI stripper, which is so fucking stupid. Which I understand. That's why she would say that, because people are just genuinely that dumb. But it's like, AI is still human creation, so it uses humanity to understand humanity. So asking AI what you should do in a certain situation instead of asking an actual human, it's so ass backwards. And you guys using ChatGPT as a therapist when it's using human automated responses. It's automated interface from humans. It's using the automated interface humans giving. It's using the data that humans are giving to give you the shittiest advice in the world. And you can't just go ask your friend. But it trips me up that the humans are discriminated against something that they created. And there's just one robot in it. Well, the detective also kills someone, and the AI is not allowed. Is supposed to stop robots from killing people, but there's two robots that have killed human beings in the show, and it's like, it reminds me of this other anime, Trigun. That the premise of the show is that there's two boys that are aliens, and their mother is an alien as well. They're plant-like life forms, and that all these humans have to live in space because the Earth isn't really that inhabitable anymore. So they move to space, but they use these aliens that they found that are plants to power their ships. There's a mother who has two sons, and the mother is losing power. She can't power the ship anymore. Like, she's basically dying. And the one son sees that and hears the crew members talking about, we're gonna have to kill her. She can't power the ship. And he begins to hate humans and starts killing humans once the mother dies. And there's another son who speaks to the mother before she dies. She's like, I know that they're going to kill me, but I still love humans, love humans as human beings, love them for who they are. And I did this because I love humans, and you should love humans too. He becomes a pacifist, doesn't kill humans. But they're both plant. And like, the woman who's raising them, their mother, she says that plants are the most intelligent life forms because they don't speak, they don't do nuances, they don't do ambiguity. They simply do things through their actions. They produce oxygen, they absorb CO2, they go through photosynthesis, and they put everything back into themselves. Plants are so intelligent that they show everything through their actions and do nothing through words. And that is so powerful to me because there's so many falsities, so many misconstruities that human beings go through, all through the big fucking yapper that's in their fucking mouth. And humans still have wars. Humans still have wars over the dumbest fucking things. So we are the most intelligent life forms, quote unquote, yet all the communicating we've done has brought us where? But why I was talking about Trigun is because there's this quote in the show Pluto, that the smartest AI would never wake up. There's this doctor in it who creates this very, 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 very intelligent cyborg, and it analyzes all 8 billion personalities in the world, and all the emotions and all the facets and all the spin-offs of emotions and all the little nuances of being a human being. And because of it's so intelligent, and it cannot figure out what personality, what emotions, what it's overwhelmed by it, because it's the most intelligent thing in the world, and it can consume it all and understand it all. And because it can consume it all and it can understand all the nuances of human beings, it chooses not to wake up. And it brings me back to plants being the Trigun anime being like, plants are so intelligent they choose not to speak, they choose to do things through their actions. The action of not waking up, because of how grueling and unbearable the human experience is sometimes, and choosing not to wake up from that, not to begin life, even not even to end your life, not even to begin it. Like, wow, the most intelligent life form chose not to wake up. And I was just like, wow, how like fucking profound. Like, instead, like, if we in the third dimension that we currently inhabit, and if we are a part of this simulation that we think we are, and like the fourth dimensional beings are like watching over us, and we're in this simulation, did we get to choose that? Did we get that choice? Or maybe we're just, our AI or whatever the fuck, our brains just aren't that intelligent because we don't fully understand. We don't even. I don't understand currently the purpose of my life. I think it's just to live, but this AI obviously had the ability to understand all those concepts, all those things. Like, we get caught up in our past, presence, and sometimes we live in the present, but we aren't able to fully encompass all that we are and all that we will become. So I think if we were able to do that, then we wouldn't wake up. This is all just very existential, which is how I've been feeling lately. So we can move on. But you know what I'm saying. I think everyone should watch Pluto. Everyone should watch Trigun. They are beautiful, 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 beautiful animations. People need to stop sleeping on animated series. They're amazing. Watch an anime every once in a while. If you really want a good anime to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. Amazing, 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 amazing. But definitely watch Pluto. It's on Netflix. Trigun, I think, is on Netflix. Neon Genesis Evangelion is on Netflix too. And the movies are on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime probably has Trigun too. Moving on, transitional periods piss me off. Summer's over, summer's ending. We're moving into a different season, a different whatever. Things are starting to pick up. Work is starting again for me. School is going to be starting again for me too, because I'm enrolling in a second grad program. And it's just like, I'm thinking about all the things that are going to happen, but I'd rather not live in the future and be like able to fast forward like 3 weeks in advance and be like, oh, I'm starting and now I'm adjusted. I don't have to get adjusted to a new schedule and like pause my workout, like plan out my lunches, and like, I just would rather be doing it and already be in the swing of it than thinking about how I'm going to get adjusted to it. And if there's going to be any like hiccups, I want to skip the hiccups and be adjusted. But I guess that's part of the human experience, doing the transitional periods, as we were just talking about being cyborg and Hayao Miyazaki and that kind of stuff. But it's so anxiety reducing, because it's like, I want to prepare, but it's not here yet type beat. So that is what's bothering me. I hate transitional periods. I just want to be doing the thing. Angela Bassett did the thing, and I just want to be there already and doing the thing, literally. Moving on. Oh, I should have moved this up, but normalize crying in Pluto. This was the most gut-wrenching part of this. One of the most gut-wrenching parts of. Also, going back to the AI that understood a million personalities and all that stuff, the only thing that could make it wake up was giving it an extreme raw emotion, which is so human. So human. It's so human. Like, they had to wake up the character in it, Astro Boy, or his name's Adam in the show. He ends up, there's this evil robot that's going around killing them. I'm doing a bunch of spoilers. Literally, I don't really give a fuck. So if you don't like spoilers, skip through what the fuck I'm saying and all those other parts. But are y'all gonna fucking watch it? Probably not, because you don't even like animated series, because you're fucking weird. But he ends up dying, or like being powered off. And he is injected with, because he's one of the most intelligent robots in the world, he is going through it, indexing all 8 billion personalities, just like one of the other robots that I was speaking about. To wake him up, the only way to wake up both those robots, and they choose to do it for Adam, is plug him in with hatred, like give him a raw file of hatred from a human being or another AI. And because of the detective, that is the protagonist of this series, dies and has hatred already in his AI, they upload it to Adam and wakes him up. So like the raw emotion being able to jumpstart even an AI, like the transhumanism of it all, like it's just so crazy, and it was just so thought provoking, especially when AI is just becoming as prevalent as it is now. It's like AI couldn't exist without humans. The cyborg cannot exist now because it needs a human emotion. The Instead of creating robots, humans should just be humans, right? But normalized crying is on here because in Pluto, when the detective, the main protagonist of Pluto, dies, he has a wife who's also a cyborg and is one of the top. I think she's one of the top 100 most um, intelligent robots in the show. She says to the creator of Adam, the doctor who created Adam, who's a human, I have this mountain of grief inside of me. I don't know how to get over losing my husband. And he starts crying and tells her to mimic it. Like, literally tells her to mimic it. Mimic crying so that you're able to get over it. And she starts crying. She starts sobbing. And she's just mirroring what he's doing. And then he says, in time, you'll actually be able to cry. You'll be able to move past this. And I found that to be so thought provoking, because it's like that's what humanity is. Like, you come out crying as a baby, but you don't really understand it, and then you go on and you become you function, and you're watching even as a child, just like what your parents do, and you begin to mimic it. You cry because you're sad, but you understand sadness is why you cry, because you've seen your parents be sad, you've seen other humans around you be sad, and you've learned the behavior of what you do when you're sad, mad, happy, excited, scared, and then you begin to mimic it. And this AI, this robot, this cyborg, this very intelligent, you're blurring the lines between humanity once that happens, which is dangerous, but it was also beautiful in that moment because now they're already integrated in society. It was just really crazy, and it just, the humanness of it all, instead of just creating a cyborg to be human, just be human. And I think it's the rawness of humanity and being so overly emotional definitely has its drawbacks, and I don't think it's should be a part, everything in moderation, but just crying and just being raw and just being human is so important, especially right now when there's people in Palestine, there's people in Sudan who are starving, being starved out, people in Haiti, people in Ethiopia, people, and all these places are experiencing all these things, and it kind of feels like this day to day, going to work, doing podcasts, being an influencer, just like driving in your car. It just feels, while all this is happening, it feels very numb. It feels very dull, and it feels like, don't lose your humanity. Like, these things that are happening are insane. Do not become numb to them. Feel them in your bones and know that this is wrong, and understand, and just love your neighbor. Literally love your neighbor, as I literally was just shitting on those people. But also, I don't like those bitches because they didn't know how to be good villagers. I was a great friend, still am a great friend, and if they needed something as a human being, I would give it to them. I would not give it to them as a friend, because we are no longer friends. And I don't like them bitches because they don't know how to foster community. That's what really pisses me off, at the essence of my friendship breakups with them hoes, them chopped hoes, is that they don't know how to be good friends, and they don't know how to be good villagers in a community they made me a part of. Like, those are my best friends, my first friends at college, and someone I called a sister. And now you're all Chop City. Regardless, moving on. Oh, this ties right into it. The banality of evil, talking about Palestine, Sudan, Haiti, Ethiopia. It's just like, I was reading about this in this Carl Jung book that I was reading, who's also, I believe Carl Jung is a psychologist or a philosopher. I'm not really sure which you would categorize him out, but he references so many etymologists and anthropologists and sociologists in this book. And he was talking about the banality of evil and how in fiction we're taught, and it's almost a indoctrination or a way of propaganda, that the big bad human who wants to destroy the earth, and or not even big bad person, just like, not even big bad human, just like the big bad evil force is this ugly witch with a war on her nose, or a big dragon, or a scary wizard, or a scary dark figure. And the person who's enacting all these evil acts on the world is not that. It's the person you're on the bus with. It's the person you see on TV. It's the person you see in traffic. It's the person you bump into when you're walking to a cafe. It's the person you're sitting with at a cafe. It's the person you married. It's your friend. The people who are doing the evil things, voting for Trump, perpetuating genocides, all these different things, these atrocities that are going on in the world, and not giving a fuck about their next door neighbor, are people that are your next door neighbors. They're people who live in your community. It's a regular person, and they're just like you. It's a normal human being. There is no big scary troll under a bridge. There is no evil witch at the top of the tower. It is a normal human being doing this, and they do not care about humanity. Let's get into something light, because it's getting a little dark. Should men think they are sexy? I think not, because there's two types of men. There's the "Don't Worry, Darling" Harry Styles version, where the nice guy finished last, like, oh, my wife is so hot, but, or I like this really attractive girl, and like a nice guy's finished last, so I'll never pull her. And then when they do pull the hot girl, they trap her in a simulation and bring her down because she's working so much and you're a loser. Or there's a very attractive guy like Leonardo DiCaprio, and then as he ages, he realizes his social currency is kind of lower, so he starts dating younger girls in order to increase his social currency. But then he starts breaking up with the girls before they hit 25, because the very ugly ageness that he sees in himself, he now is seeing in those girls, and it becomes a mirror for him, so he can't do that. So I think there's either those two. So it's like the nice guys know that they're not that attractive, so they have to be nice, pseudo niceness, fabricated niceness, like I was speaking about. Or there's people like Leonardo DiCaprio, who knew how attractive they were down to like the minute detail, and because they know that their social currency goes down at a certain age, they become evil people just in order to literally suck the youth out of young girls. So it's like, honestly, it doesn't really matter, because men are just bad people. And that's why I believe being a misandrist is just like the best thing that you can do. And I'm going to get into this with my next 2 points too. Men are like, oh, like there's just this popularity of hating men. I love women so much, and I hate men. And I'm not saying this as a soundbite. I'm not saying this as a joke. I do. At first glance, I hate men. I do not like them, but I love women. And there are so many women in this world, and I tell my fucking, literally, I treat Hikmah like she is my sister, and I tell her all the time, you give men the benefit of the doubt so much. And I tell all my female friends that, because honestly, most of them love men, and they just give them grace, which is okay. But for men to be like, there's such a popularity and like hating men, most women don't, which is why I have to do it for the 400 other women who don't hate men. I have to be the misandrist to really hate them, because most women love men. The male loneliness epidemic is because of you niggas. Your best friend, your male best friend, doesn't know your fucking favorite color or your birthday. And if he had to get you a birthday gift after somebody reminded him when your birthday was, he wouldn't know what to get you, because he doesn't fucking know you, because you don't know yourself either. Right. And that leads me into going into adolescence and the inconspicuous of misogyny. I was listening to Joelle Fallow's podcast, and Joelle Fallow, had ER Fight Master on there. Bad as fuck, mind you. Bad as fuck. They are so bad. If you ever need anything, just in life, ER Fight Master, please DM me on Instagram. Love you down. And they were talking about when they were presenting as a female in college, and because they're so tall and they were better than men at so many different things, men would desire them. But it also, when the desire wasn't met, or they were in closed spaces where the men didn't have to act as if they were such like appreciative or like non-misogynist, when they could really drop the veil and be a misogynist and like behind closed doors with them, it would lead to violence, and nobody around them could see that it was going to lead to violence, because they weren't that. They were just inconspicuous with it. And I think that is why adolescence is so Emmy award winning, and like a limited series, like, and all these things, like, it's just so critically acclaimed, because the incel culture is so embedded in things that it's even reaching kids who are like 10 to 14 years old. It's so that's why Don't Worry Darling was so critically acclaimed, because it's just like the nice guy, the young kid, the soft kid, the kid that you would never expect, and it just becomes them. And I think that's so crazy, and it's even more inconspicuous in the way that Fight Master was talking about it too, because women. I saw a TikTok the other day, and Fight Master was talking about this too. Um, I think we were talking about the same TikTok where the woman was like, trans women think that they're women. You don't bleed once a month. You don't take care of kids. You don't take care of your husband. And it's like, when I hear trans women talking about their experience of being a woman, it's something that they've always felt. It's the most beautiful parts of them. It's the love, it's the light, it's the warmth, it's the understanding, it's the comfort. When I hear straight women talking about it, it's childbirth, it's bleeding once a month, it's taking care of a man, it's being able to, it's like all these, like, are you a machine? It's all these servitude, it's all this giving, it's all this suffering, and I think there's a lot of that in the human experience, suffering, emotion, and stuff like that. But your link to femininity is not what you can do for others. You're a woman because of, when I think about my mom, I think about her warmth, I think about her care, I think about her dedication, I think about her cup runneth over with love and warmth and kindness and understanding for me, for my siblings, for her husband, for her communities, for her church, for things like that. But for this woman to be spewing that and saying that trans women can't be women because they don't bleed once a month, they can't take care of a man properly, why is your femininity linked to servitude? That's misogyny. Like, misogyny has its grips in you, and I want to say it's a white feminism thing, but as a black person, it's not. I've seen black women talk about this. I've seen Latino women talk. I've seen women of color talk like this about trans women too, and it's like, you don't understand that transphobia is affecting you too. If they masculinize mostly black women all the time and said they look like men, but women of color, period. Transphobia affects everybody. If trans people aren't free, if gay people aren't free, nobody is. And I think that's what people, it's just like, it's so sad to see that. And again, expecting more out of men, misandry. And the last part of this that I really want to touch on, and I guess is kind of a lighter topic to end on, but kind of isn't at the same time, but shit don't always gotta be light, is aging gracefully in the beauty industry. I just think there's so much, it reminds me of just like the AI of it all, like wanting to look uniform, wanting to have the same face, wanting to have perfect teeth, wanting to have the perfect nose, foreheads that don't move, eyebrows that don't scrunch. And I understand like certain things, but like people getting Botox and lip fillers at 21 and people using retinol at 18 and all this stuff, and it's like, I'm gonna age gracefully, period. My parents look amazing period. Like, my parents are in their 60s and they look amazing. Like, I love that my mother has beautiful skin, my dad has beautiful skin. If there's one thing that I'm grateful for, it's my genetics, and I'm black, so I do subscribe to the black don't crack. But I think there's a scariness to it all, that when people don't want to age, and I'm not here to tell anybody like it's a privilege to age, because I tried to kill myself at 15 and I felt like I was 30 at age 8. So when I turn 30, I'm going to be very excited for my body to feel the same way as my brain does. But I think that a lot of people need to be more comfortable with themselves, and that's when they'll allow more grace for other people. People are so quick to make fun of other people, like just in small ways where it's like, and some of it's just in fun and it's funny, and I think it is funny, but like when 18-year-olds are like, my friend who's 25, and it's the substance picture of the lady who's just like sucked dry and is old as fuck, and then it's like Margot Qualley and sitting next to her, which I think is a funny ass meme, and I think it's hilarious, and I think people should keep posting it, and I have it in my reactions folder. But there's a subtlety to it where people are just really, really, really afraid of aging and like looking not their best, and it's like, what does not looking your best even mean? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, if you were more comfortable with yourself, you would not be as judgmental to other people. And I think that's what the beauty industry is causing other people to do, to be insecure and cover things up about themselves, and then being mad when other people don't want to do that. And it does, like, do all the plastic surgery that you want. I'd be in turn telling people not to do things, but you don't need lip filler at 18, and you don't need to use retinol, and you don't need baby Botox at 25. You just like don't. You just like don't. That's just my personal opinion. But if you want it, do it. I'm not gonna judge you, because that would actually be the antithesis of what my argument is. But what I'm saying is, if you are gonna do that, don't judge the next person for not doing it. And if someone is doing it, just let them do it. But at the same time, I just think the beauty industry is really profiting off people hating themselves and hating other people. Period. Which was my last thing. I've recorded this episode twice. My throat is dry as fuck. What I really wanted to say is thank you guys for 5,000 views, over 5,000 views on episode 1, and thank you for, I think, over 2,000 views on episode 2. It's really hard for me to encapsulate how on the first episode there's somebody who commented that they've been here since my first podcast in 2021, the Human Instrumentation Project, then my second podcast with my friend, the former psych ward patient, and now this one. And there's people who have followed me since I started this page in 2017, and it just takes me back to, like, thank you guys. Like my niche, my first brand deal ever was for Bliss, and I got a creator code, and I sold 300% of my following at the time, and I outsold people who had 50,000, 100K, and I was at 10K at that time. So it's like I fostered a community that will really listen to me and, like, voice their opinion back to me and, like, speak back to me. And, like, you guys just, it's really rare for people to be able to speak on the internet because of how oversaturated it is, which I really don't believe. Because if you carve out a niche, you carve out a niche and people will listen to you, which I've obviously done. And I'm so thankful that the content that I've created has reached the niche that I'm supposed to be at. Because obviously you guys resonate, because anything I do, you guys show up for me for. And it's, as a child who has had so much to say and so much to speak and had so many emotions and had so many words and not been able to connect them back to themselves, and has felt like an AI for a really long time as a small kid. Having a community, if I had nobody in the real world that I could go to and just speak to and just have fun with and do little things like this and just talk and just into the void and just add things to the collective consciousness and write articles and create small little films, and people still watch and like and talk to me about them to this day, is something I never take for granted. And I think I try to say it a lot, but I don't think I say it enough. I'm very, 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 very grateful that you guys see me and the little bit that I do show you on the internet and resonate with that and just watch and like and comment on what I do. It's very, very interesting. It's very, very fun, and I'll never, ever, 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 ever take it for granted. So thank you guys for listening to episode 3.5 of the Bedroom Corner, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.